Okay, so today is National Alien Abduction Day, and myself being a believer in the paranormal, I find this interesting. As you can see, I'm wearing a Mars Attacks shirt. You may or may not be seeing something related to that in a second. Um, I thought it'd be fun to create a top 10 list of 10 movies that impacted me, affected me with their aliens and alien abductions. Alright? But I've set up a criteria, okay? Number one, I need visitation from another planet, okay? Number two, I need for this to be kind of grounded in reality. That's not a character for me to say, but like I don't need the aliens to be just cohabitating with the humans. Like that's not what today is about, I don't believe. But we're not there yet. And number three, and this one pertains mostly to me, I'd like the aliens to be humanoid in appearance and more specifically look like gray aliens or something like these Mars Attack aliens. Like something like that. I mean, those are the ones that affect me. I got an entire section of my collection that's just movies with gray aliens in it that I've built and watched to fight my fear. Because I have a phobia of gray aliens. And you'll find out why in a second. And I actually have another stack of movies that I brought that I haven't gotten into yet. I've been waiting for a special occasion, and today seems like the perfect occasion to do it, but I am sick. I'm not feeling well, and the medication has me high, and so I'm not about to go through all that. And also, this is my second time filming this, because, I don't know, something happened with the sound, and it was all static for 48 minutes. Plus, I didn't like the way it came out anyway. Like, I'm doing it better. Just take two. Alright? Top 10 alien visitation / alien abduction movies. Take two. Alright? We will start with honorable. Alright. Alright. Let us start with honorable mentions. Movies that didn't quite make the cut. No spoilers. Alright. Honorable mention number one, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is the Jeff Goldblum remake from the 70s. Love this movie. Love the cast. Leonard Nimoy, Veronica Cartwright, Donald Sutherland, as I mentioned before, Jeff Goldblum, in an alien movie, pre-Independence Day. There is a visitation, and there are aliens, but the aliens don't have the appearance I'm looking for. And the visitation is not quite what I'm looking for. I want a UFO and all that. Movie's still good and scary, but it doesn't make my criteria. That's why it's an honorable mention. Unaware, or as I like to call it, the Blair Witch Project of alien movies, because they tried the same marketing campaign and it failed. Like they tried so hard to keep the identity of the stars secret, but the internet is the internet. And it's actually quite simple to find. They're just on IMDb now. And they tried to market this as real footage, which if this were real footage, it wouldn't be this available. I know there are movies that have actually used real footage of stuff, but not like this, like with Alien. No. Anyway, the story is a couple. Well, let me read it. A vacationing couple discovered something disturbing on a ranch in rural Texas, armed with a home camcorder. They captured their experience on video. That's the plot. It's found footage and it's a Blair Witch comparison. It is mostly these two people, this man and this woman, for the most part, and they do an okay job. The acting is not the best, but I don't think it's supposed to be, because it's supposed to be real people, real, and how in this real situation. So, and they have good chemistry. If anything, it's the 2 or 3 other people that randomly show up throughout the movie that are terrible. And there's a warning when you first play it. There's no CGI in this movie. That's totally fine. This can be done without CGI. I don't mean it's real. I mean, check this out. Unaware, a collaborative effort to relay controversial footage to the general public without censorship. That's not this at all. Nice try, though. Good enough movie, but this isn't actual alien footage. But the bonus features, if you have the DVD, are actual declassified documents about the stuff. So that's cool and brave. But yeah, this doesn't quite meet my criteria. Yes, there's a visitation. Yes, there are gray aliens. But tries way too hard with what it's doing to have any effect on me. That's the important part. Honorable mention number 3 is only here to plant the seeds for a upcoming entry in the list. Dark Skies the movies. Unoriginal crap, had potential, wasted it. J.K. Simmons is the best part, and that's ripped straight from X-Files. So, yeah. From the producer of Paranormal Activity and Insidious. That should have warned me. Right there. Honorable mention number 4. One of my favorite movies of all time. Men in Black. I saw this in the drive-in when it came out. And when I tell you, that fucking song was everywhere. That fucking song was everywhere. Number 1 on every single chart all over the world. At the drive-in, they played the video at the end. They're like, don't forget, the song will play at the end. Don't go nowhere. I remember we just had a bootleg, and it was on the bootleg. I had the actual tape, and it was on the tape. Like, that song was everywhere, ironically, except for this very DVD. So I bought a different one that actually does have it. And I love that song. But this doesn't meet my criteria. Because, yes, there's a visitation, and a UFO, and there are gray aliens hidden away in there. Some of them pretty clever. It just didn't have that kind of effect on me. I actually like this. You know, and this is one of the aliens I'm looking for. So that's why I didn't make the cut. But it's worth talking about, though. Honorable mention number 5. Mambo number 5. Is a movie called Intruders, which stars Ben Vereen. I knew even before I did research that this movie was incomplete. This was a TV movie from like 1990, and this really could have been something. But like I said, it's clearly, I don't know if it's incomplete or they just didn't decide not to give us the whole movie. But yeah, it's just like half a movie, and it's already long as fuck. Like 2 hours 41 minutes, and this feels like only like a portion of it. Apparently this was like a miniseries or something back in 1990. So yeah, it does meet my criteria. There's a visitation, gray aliens, but it just didn't have any effect on me. It could have. Got the rest of it on there. I got the full story. So also I expect this to be an official bootleg. Look at this shoddy work on this disc, man. Look at this bullshit. That is cheap as hell. I could do that on my own computer, on this crappy computer if I want to. I don't know if you can tell how crappy that workmanship is. Look at the back. That's like a bootleg Walmart DVD. Like, and if you're thinking, oh, but the official CBS, that's easy enough to do if you know what you're doing. Like, CBS bootleg the crap out of this movie for some reason. And it just took me way out of it. Could have been something. That's why it's not on the list. Alright. Honorable mention. Numero 6. Will Smith just can't catch a break, man. Neither can Jeff Goldblum. I fucking love this movie. This movie did absolutely have an effect on me. It meets my criteria. There's a visitation. There are kind of grayish aliens, I guess. But I feel like the one reason it's not on this list is there's a much more appropriate time to talk about Independence Day, I think. Also, I chose this version of the movie to put in this video. This gold DVD with 2 different versions of the movie. It's like, yeah, if you didn't think this movie was long enough, there's an extended version. And I love that too. No, I chose this version specifically because my dad had this copy. He still does. And I always wanted this for myself. This golden copy. I have the original VHS tape. Who doesn't? I have the DVD here with both versions of the movie on it, and I have the Blu-ray. This movie means so much to me. But again, time and place. Time and place. And our very final honorable mention is kind of cheating. It's a TV show, The Outer Limits, and this is actually the Aliens Among Us collection. 6 episodes of their best Alien episodes. Okay. And the reason it's an honorable mention is because, well, I love this show, and I've been watching both this and Twilight Zone, both versions of this, and all three 60s, 80s, 2000, 4 versions of Twilight Zone since I was a kid. Like, this doesn't quite meet the mark because some of the aliens are kind of there, and the Visitation is not like I would like, but they have gray aliens, but I had to single out a specific episode, and I'm too high to do that, so that's why I didn't make the cut. And this is the 90s when I love the 90s Outer Limits. That was kind of polarizing, but I love it. It's my shit. Alright, that's it for honorable mentions. Okay, and now the list really begins. Number 10. E.T., the extraterrestrial. This fucking movie was my nightmares as a child. I remember when my mother first showed it to me. She was like, I first saw this movie when it came out, and I was a kid too. It was like my mother was 11 when it came out. It came out in 1982. I saw this, I believe, at 4, though my mother claims I wasn't that young. I wasn't 11 yet, I know that much. I know from the second I saw E.T., but the plants know that. I freaked the fuck out. And this is what kind of part of my fear of aliens, okay? Like, gray aliens, stuff like that in particular, okay? And this became a running joke in my family. Instead of punishing me, my mother would be like, clean the room. I'd be like, but she'd be like, fine, go watch E.T. I said, I'll clean the room, dang. Like, yeah, we had the VHS tape, but I hid it so well, I don't know where it is. I just know it's at my grandma's house somewhere. But I did eventually, like, buy this, the Blu-ray, DVD, digital, and ultraviolet. Damn, the anniversary edition, which is both versions of the movie. It is the original classic from 1982 and the 2002 re-release, which they put in theaters right alongside Tupac Resurrection. And my mother thought it was extra funny to take myself and my siblings to the movies like she would, but to tease me about what we were seeing. She was like, yeah, well, you know, we're going to the movies. What are we seeing? I mean, you'll like it. I mean, somebody dies in it. I used to be obsessed with death when I was younger. It was like, well, somebody died, you know, in this movie. Like I said, Tupac or E.T. Like, well, you know, well, they kind of died. Like, she kept dropping hints like that and messed with me till we got there. And I remember when we walked into the theater, they had this giant cutout of E.T. doing that fucking finger that I hate. I was like, oh, no. And we get into inside the theater room. And imagine my surprise and relief when I saw Tupac on screen and not E.T., which was like playing literally every other room. I was like, thank goodness. You know, but yeah, I mean, I gotta explain what E.T. is. You know the story. You know, E.T. came back last year for Thanksgiving. People are all, oh, my nostalgia, the heartstrings. I was like, oh, please, no. That fucker, like, he scared the hell out of me. Like, he really did haunt my nightmares when I was a kid. He came back last year. And, yes, the commercial was very touching and all that. And Spielberg gave it a seal of approval, called it a sequel. They got the original Elliot. That's fan-fucking-tastic. But still, E.T., he still freaks me out. I'm at a point where I can watch this movie alone in my house with the lights off, with my doors, with this door here open or whatever. See in the dark hallways. I can do that now. But E.T., you know, like, I can watch this movie, I can laugh at parts that used to absolutely mortify me, okay? That's how far I've come, my fear. Alright? And if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, E.T. started life as a horror movie, and I knew it. Didn't fool me for a second. It was right after Spielberg made another movie, which may or may not be on this list. He wanted to do one where you have some aliens terrorize his family. Each one has its own distinctive look. You know, that would be off screen for the majority of the movie until the end. And there are pictures of E.T.'s supposed parents. Look just like him too. But that movie never happened. It would have been called like Night Terror or something like that. Would have never happened. And instead, it was made into two different movies: E.T. and fucking Poltergeist. Okay, could imagine those two together. Like, yeah. And messed up part is, I kind of want to see that movie. Like, I kind of want to, because I've seen E.T., I've seen Poltergeist. I want to see that movie. That's where I'm at. Because I'm not my fear. I am me, and I whoop my fear's ass. Okay, that's what I do. I want to see it. Like, yeah. So sometimes when I see E.T. in the horror movie aisle at the store, I'd be like, all is right in the world. Okay, this movie. Fuck this movie. I love it, but fuck E.T. And I don't know if this is true, but apparently, according to the internet, so grain of salt, Kel Mitchell made a song with E.T.'s voice actress, the late great Pat Wells, called "A Kiss from Anne Frank's Lips." If that song exists, I want to hear it. Okay, like I need to hear that. But yeah, this is great to watch if you're around your family and you want to relive your nostalgia. It has a great score. And you know the movie. It's really good to watch. You know, especially now. You know how people are looking towards certain aliens. Okay, this would be real good to look at that, to learn to accept all for who they are and to spread the love, man, not the hate. All right. I want to talk more about E.T., but that's down the line. That's it for E.T. The fuck. So, next entry. Mars Attacks started out as a comic book series, a much darker comic book series than the movie depicted. Like, this shirt is from the comic books. Like, that's why it looks a bit more demented. Okay. I've read about this much of the comics. I'm talking about Mars Attacks because that is number 9. Mars Attacks. Starring everyone. Okay. DVD says Jack Nicholson was in 2 roles, Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Brosnan, my favorite 007, and Danny DeVito. Okay, but there's also like Michael J. Fox is in there, a young Jack Black is in there, Ray J's in there, Christina Applegate's in there, man. Sarah Jessica Parker's in there. Such a big, epic, charismatic cast in this movie, man. And I highly recommend. Football legend Jim Brown's in there. Pam Grier's in there, man. Like, this is really good. Like, I remember seeing this as a kid and loving the absolute craziness of it. But when the aliens showed up, I was like, oh, like, kind of freaky. But I like them, you know. And I mean, I know it's a satire of those 1950s B movies, which, speaking of which, I almost put Plan 9 from Outer Space on this list, but those aliens are what I'm looking for, and I'm too high to deal with that level of insanity. Plus, there's a remake, so I would have to do both those. Fuck that for right now. But yeah, movie is crazy, but not as crazy as it could have been. You know, plus this is a great one to watch right now. For the politicalness of it, and how they dealt with their alien problem. You know, how everyone, like, came together was what we can do now. I don't mean to get preachy. I'm not preachy. I'm just, you know. But yeah, like, it's a great one to watch around the family with everyone. Said you could play a game, guess that celebrity, you know, because I didn't name every single huge name in this movie. Like, my goodness. Alright. So let me read the synopsis here. Awake Earthlings. It's clear. It's later than you think. Don't miss this hilarious frenzy as Tim Burton. Yeah, I forgot Tim Burton directed this. Batman and Beetlejuice. Okay. Directs Mars Attacks. See stars that shine across the galaxy. Jack Nicholson in a dual role. Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Brosnan, the best 007. Danny DeVito, and a dozen more, at least, shriek at mean green invaders from the angry red planet armed with insta-fry ray guns, which, fun fact, are ripped directly from a movie called Teenagers from Outer Space, which is region free. So if you see footage play, yeah, there's no copyright on it. So, yeah, YouTube, no copyright on Teenagers from Outer Space. So, yeah. But Insta-Fry Ray Guns. Oh, if you played The Story of All Humans, that movie is not like the whole crazy ass movie. Insta-Ray Fry Guns, endowed with slimy, humongous brains and enlivened with out of this world but state-of-the-art special effects. Gasp! As the U.S. legislature is overwhelmed. Don't fear. We still have 2 out of 3 branches of government working for us. And that ain't bad. Thrill! As Earth fights back with an unexpected weapon. Take that, Martians. Oh yeah. The unexpected weapon, Slim Whitman. Fun fact, Howard Stern did that first with Slim Whitman in the 80s. Like, they stole that idea from him, and he pissed off about it. That's funny. But yeah, this is a really fun movie to put on to celebrate today. And just laugh, because we need that laugh. It's a really good movie. Alright, number 8 is technically cheating because it's a twofer. But The Arrival, 1996, not to be confused with Arrival from a few years ago. And The Arrival 2, the second Arrival. From 1997, I want to say? 98, yeah, okay. Fun fact before I get into it, this movie came out the same year as E.T. and, let me double check, and Mars Attacks. And both of them got promptly eaten alive by Independence Day. Yeah. But this was actually not bad at all. You can laugh at Mars Attacks. And Independence Day is fucking awesome. This one, nothing to laugh, nothing to sneeze at. And the funny thing is, 20 years later, Independence Day resurgence will finally come out, Independence Day 2. At the same time, a movie called Arrival came out. Only the battle didn't go the same way as Arrival fucking eradicated Independence Day resurgence. This is a whole, again, time and place, talk about Independence Day, time and place. But yes, The Arrival, 1996, Charlie Sheen, who has an interesting look. You can see it, you can kind of see it. You can see it better here, kind of. There you go. Like, he kind of looks like Gordon Freeman from Half-Life, which is an alien themed game if you want to play it today. So this is often called Half-Life the movie, and this is actually the first review I ever did. I just never uploaded it. I got my mother in it. She hates cameras. We're both awkward. I definitely want to talk about this again. And I had her in it because this is one of those Saturday afternoon movies that will come on after all the Saturday morning cartoons, and after, like, at least here in the States, and then after Xena and Hercules and that block of stuff, after that. But before, like, after that, and we would just watch this with, like, it'd be my mother, myself, my brother, my sister. There was only 3 of us at the time. And we would just watch movies on Fox on Saturday afternoons after all that. Like, we didn't feel like going outside. We watched that before we played, like, the 64, because we had a 64 at my mother's house. PS1 at my dad's house. But yeah. My dad was the one who was like, no, go outside. You know, we had to stay in with our mother. I remember there was this voice I used to like. He'd be like, we'll be back with Gargantuan on Fox. Like, I don't know who that dude is, but I love his voice. I know he still does it, but on a different channel. I don't know what channel. And Gargantuan is another one we used to watch together. And I remember trying to find this movie. Like, I couldn't, the only thing I had to go on was legs bent backwards, but It's not really something you can put into your search engine and get the results that you're going to get. Uh, and so, like, I actually found this by accident. I was like, there's an alien movie with Charlie Sheen. I'm in. And I bought it and I'm watching it. And my brother was there. He was like, didn't we see this before? I'm like, I don't know what the scene. But then we saw that scene with the legs bent backwards. Like, oh, this is that movie. I'm like, I've been trying to find this. I had it the whole time. It also stars Lindsay Krause. And let me read you the plot synopsis. Radio astronomer Zane Zeminski, nice name, Shane, believes he's picked up a cosmic noise that signals extraterrestrial intelligence. His desperate search for answers leads him to Mexico in a mysterious power plant where he is arrested for the murder of a scientist. Zane must escape with his proof of the world-shattering alien invasion. This movie also stars Lindsay Krause from Communion, which could have been on this list, but I'm way too hard to deal with Christopher Walken and Whitley Strieber. That's a whole other level of insanity right there. Ooh, okay. Well, yeah. And this movie is so underrated, man. It really is. And you can't really see the alien on here, but it does have the gray alien look that I like and fear, but it's a little bit different. They wanted their own alien, so it's not just your standard gray alien. They did something different to it. Only theirs has, so I gotta respect that. Definitely when you get the family together to watch from experience, you and your family will have a great time with it, okay? The Arrival 2, the second Arrival, is deserving of its own review, like The Arrival, but for different reasons. Holy fuck, yeah, I need way more time to get into this movie. I'll just say this: if you like bad green screen, this movie for you. All right, like the only recognizable name in it is Jane Sibbett. You know, the second Carol from Friends, the blonde one, real beautiful. And that's literally her character trait. She's the beautiful woman. Like, yeah, this movie. I showed this to my younger brother, who wasn't even around at the time of the first one. And he was like, "So was there a sequel? Because nothing happened." I'm like, "Nope, that's just it." But they didn't do anything. I know. What even was that? I don't know. It's like that was our conversation. Like, yeah. It's like even he could see through it. And he was young at the time. Like, I don't think he was 10 yet when we were watching it. And he saw right through it. I was roughly the same age, maybe a little bit older when I watched the first one and loved it. So yeah. They're like the Arrival, watch that. It's underrated. You'll love it. The Arrival 2, Second Arrival, watch that if you've seen the first one and you want more. Just don't expect much, okay? Oh my goodness. Alright, that's it for The Arrival. The Arrival 2, The Second Arrival.